Good afternoon. All right, welcome. We'll go ahead and get going. Started on our backs. Okay, so let's go bottom of the feet together. Knees open up a little bit, not a little bit wider. They're going to open up wide. Like a butterfly stretch. Keeping that core engaged. So we want to pull that low back down towards the mat. So really engaging through that core. So think right here underneath the lumbar spine of that low back, it's nice and flat, pressing into the mat. So a little bit more active here. And then resting one hand on the stomach. So you can feel that core engage a little bit more. One hand is resting on that chest. So as we inhale, belly stays tight, big expansion through that rib cage. The belly can expand a little bit, but making sure we're not relaxing through the abs, through the core. And then exhaling that breath out. And big breath in. So as we inhale, we can feel, it should be a little bit easier for that back to press into the mat. And then exhale, keep that really strong core engagement. So press all of that air out. Again, big breath in. Exhale it out. Again, big breath in. Feeling that expansion of the rib cage, that spine pressing into the mat. Then exhaling it out. And a couple more times just on your own. So we want that tight core. Noticing if you're carrying any tension anywhere else, maybe those shoulders are a little bit tight, those arms, your neck, or even your legs. Relax through there. Focusing on that breath. Get in and out through the nose. With that core being tight, it might be a little bit more forceful breath out. And a little forceful on the way in. You might be able to hear that breath. There's that sound you can focus on. That breath that starts to heat up, warm up the body. Let's bring those legs together. Okay, hugging those knees into the chest. Let's round through that spine, and then we'll extend those legs out. Okay, so arms are reaching up over your head, legs are out, so the shoulders are lifted. Just the low back and the tailbone are on the ground. Let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant those feet down, arms down by your sides, rolling those hips up. Roll it back down. Let's do 2 more. Roll it up and down and roll up and down. Now just windshield wiper those knees from side to side. Bring those arms out into that field goal position. And now hug those knees in. We'll go into a half happy baby set. Right knee stays in, left leg extends out. Okay, we're grabbing onto that outside edge of that right foot and then start to lift. So that bottom of the foot is pointing up towards the sky. That knee is pulling down towards the mat. One more breath. Then we'll release it. And that left hand is going to guide that knee across. Right arm reaches out into that spinal twist, just nice and gentle. Bring it back to center, switching sides. That left knee hugs in, right leg extends out as we reach for that outside edge of that left foot and start to work that knee to a 90-degree bend, extending up that leg maybe a little bit more. And go ahead and release that foot. That right hand guides that knee across the mat. And bring it back to center. Hug the knees in. Let's start to rock forward and back. Get a lot of momentum. We're going to plant those feet. We're going to come right into a forward fold. Okay. So slight bend in those knees. Then inhale, hands come up to the shins. Just on this first one, even if you have that mobility, I just on the first one think really lengthening through that spine, lifting through that tailbone, lifting through that chest, getting that back as flat as you can. And then sliding those hands down as we fold. Let that head hang heavy. Maybe shake that head, yes. Shake the head, no. We'll bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise up to standing, reach it up tall. Interlace those fingers, side bend over to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it over to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. Let's pull those elbows down. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. Keep that core tight. And slight bend to those knees, flat back as we fold. Then release those hands down to the mat. Step it back to our plank. We're going to add in a push-up. So shift the weight forward. Lower shoulders height of the elbows. Press it back up. And then lower down. Inhale, flip the toes, lift the chest, cobra, or upward facing dog. And exhale those hips up and back to that down dog. And then we'll inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise to standing. Reach it up tall. Interlace the fingers, bend it to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale it back up. Pull the elbows down, interlace those fingers. Open that chest and fold. Lengthen on that inhale. And exhale, release those hands down, plant them, step or hop those feet back. And that push up. And vinyasa. So if you want to pause that little play, flip the toes, lift it up into that up dog. And exhale, send those hips up and back, down dog. Good, come on the toes. And those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale it up to the left. Inhale it up. Elbows pull down. Interlace the fingers. Open that chest. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. And exhale, plank the hands. Step it, hop it back, push up. And then vinyasa. Exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. And feet together. Inhaling that right leg up. Exhale, bring that right knee to that right elbow. Inhale that leg up. Open up that hip, bend that top knee. Keep pressing that left heel down towards the mat. Then we'll bring that left knee across, the right knee across to the left elbow. And extend that leg back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through. Back heel grounds down. Inhale those arms up, warrior one. Then exhale, pull those elbows down. Interlace the fingers, open up through that chest. And exhale, fold, humble warrior. Releasing those hands as we rise back up into that warrior one. And exhale the hands down. Left leg lifts, standing splits. Lengthen through that spine. Then exhale, fold, walking the hands back. So one hand reaches for the ankle. Maybe both hands reach for that ankle. A lot of balance. And then big step back with the right or the left foot, then the right foot, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hips to the sky, down dog. Feet together, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, that left knee to that left elbow. Inhale, send that leg up. Open up that hip, bend that top knee, press that right heel down. And we'll sweep that leg across to that right elbow. Inhale, send it back up. And exhale, curl that knee and step that foot through. Back heel grounds down. Inhaling those arms up, warrior one. And exhale the arms down. Inhale, lifting that chest. And exhale, humble fold. Releasing those hands as we rise back up to our warrior one. Then exhale those hands down as we lift that right leg up. A little more length through that spine on that inhale. And exhale, fold a little deeper. And big step back with the right and the left. Vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Now you'll walk those feet a little bit closer together. Bring those heels in, toes out, come high onto the toes. Bend into those knees. We're gonna frog hop it, landing those feet right outside the hands. Sinking those hips down into that squat. Hands come to heart center. So you might have to come up a little bit higher. That's okay. Grip those toes into that, pull the knees apart. Chest is lifted. And straighten those legs as we fold. So bring those feet parallel to each other. Half lift on that inhale. And exhale, fold. Just let the head hang here for a breath or two. And now let's plant those hands, step or hop it back to our plank. Push up. Vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Right knee to that right elbow. Inhale it up. Opening up that hip, bend that top knee. Then send that leg across to that left elbow. Inhale, bring it back up to the sky. Curl that knee to the nose. Step that foot through. Back heel down. Inhale those arms up. Exhale the hands down. Interlace the fingers. Open that chest. Bend that top knee. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, we'll lower those hands down. Sending that left leg up to the sky. So try not to open up those hips too much. We want to square those hips off a little bit more. So rotate that left outer hip down just a bit. And then take the big step back with the left foot, then the right, then vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Left knee to that left elbow. Inhale, send it up. Exhale that, opening up that hip. Forgot about that part. Bending that top knee, press that right heel down. Then sweep that left knee towards that left elbow. Inhale it back up. Curl that knee to the nose. Step that foot through. Back heel grounds down. Inhale those arms up. Warrior one. Exhaling the arms down. Inhale, big chest. And exhale, fold, humble warrior. Releasing those arms. Rise back up. And exhale the hands down to the mat as we send that right leg up. Lengthen on the inhale. And exhale, fold, walking those hands back a little more. Big step back with the right, then the left. Vinyasa. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, now heels in, toes out. Come high onto those toes. Bend into those knees, hopping those feet right behind the hands. Chest is lifting as those hands come to heart center. And you might have to lift those hips up a little bit higher, really flat back. Knees are driving out. One more breath. Now, if you want to play around a little bit here, plant those hands down. So I'm bringing my fingertips, my pinky finger, that's what I'm trying to say, to the edge of the mat. Okay, spread those fingers out wide. I'm going to pull those elbows in. So the forearms are nice and parallel to each other. Elbows are pointing straight back. Bring the knees up high onto those triceps. Look forward. That head is really close to the ground. Weight is shifting forward. Core is tight. And maybe those legs start to float up. Or maybe you just kind of bring one up at a time. And if you're feeling pretty confident here, maybe you slide those feet back to our plank. Okay. or making your way into that plank position. Push up and vinyasa. But exhaling, let's go into a child's pose. Whew, give it a little bit of a breather. Relaxing through those arms, through that upper back. Knees are nice and wide. And let's come back up onto those hands and knees. Step it back, plank, and down dog. And bringing those feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Bring that right knee to that right elbow. Inhale, that leg back up. Open up that hip, bend that top knee. Swing that knee around towards that left elbow. Extend that leg out now. So maybe you just stay here. You get a good stretch to that outer hip, or coming into that side plank. So that left heel splints down, that left arm reaches up. Lower that hand down, send that leg back up. Curl that knee to nose, stepping that foot through. Back heel's gonna stay lifted, inhaling those arms up. Core tight, bend into that front knee. Now, if you're having a hard time balancing, heel to walk that right foot out a little bit wider. It's gonna help stabilize you with that wider base of support. Now twist left hand forward. Excuse me, right arm reaches back and reverse it. Left arm up, right hand grabs onto that hamstring, bend into that front knee a little bit more. Inhaling those arms back up. 1 second. All right, I'm back. So arms are up. And now from here, we're gonna keep those arms up overhead. We're gonna hover that chest and then lift. Okay, balance here. We're gonna lift that left leg up. Wow, that's not happening. Here we go. Warrior 3, pressing through that heel, reaching through those fingers. Exhale, curl that knee and draw the elbows back. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Last time, curl in. Reach it back out. Big step back to that crescent lunge. And then we'll spin that back heel down, teeing out the arms. Warrior 2. Okay. So as we bend into that top knee or that front knee, we want to be able to see that big toe right inside the knee. We're opening up through the shoulders, keeping that core tight, taking that arch out of the low back. Now lower that left or right forearm down. The left arm reaches up over our head. Now, if we want a little extra core work here, you just slide that right arm forward. So both arms are parallel to each other. Keep that big bend in that front knee. Then inhale, we'll straighten that front leg, reach out the arms, and then we'll spin that right arm up and back. Circle those arms all the way down to the mat. Step it back to our plank. Vinyasa. And down dog. Feet together. Inhaling that left leg up. Bring that left knee to that left elbow. Inhale it back up. Open up that hip, bend that top knee. Bringing that knee across to that right elbow. Extend that leg out, drop that heel down, reaching that right arm up. Lower the hand down, send that leg back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through. Again, that back heel's gonna stay up. Inhaling those arms up, bend into that front knee. Now twist, right hand reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Flipping that palm, that right arm is gonna reach up, the left hand reaches for that back hamstring. Inhale those arms up. Now exhale, we're gonna hover that chest. Okay, lifting that right heel up, warrior 3. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Last time, curl it in. Reach it back out. And big step back into that crescent lunge. Back heel spins down. Tee out those arms. Warrior 2. Lowering that left forearm down, right arm reaches up overhead. And we can stay here if we want to make it a little bit more challenging, reaching that left arm forward. Arms are parallel to each other. Inhale, rise back up, tee out those arms. Straighten that front leg. And then we'll lift that left arm up and back. And circle those arms all the way down to the mat. Step it back to our plank vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. And feet together. Inhaling that right leg up. Right knee to that right elbow. Inhale, send it back up. Open up that hip, bend that top knee. Now slide that knee across towards that left elbow. Extend that leg out. Side plank as we reach that left arm up. Lower that hand down, send that right leg back up. Curl that knee to the nose, step that foot through. Back heel is up, inhale, reaching those arms up. And twist. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. And flip it, left hand up, right hand reaches for that back hamstring. And both arms up. Back heel spins down, warrior two. Extended side angle, so you can lower that forearm down. Maybe that hand comes inside that foot, left arm comes up overhead. So maybe even in this position, we try to extend that arm forward. So it just makes it a little bit more challenging the closer we hover the body towards that leg. But inhale, rise back up, straighten that front leg, reach that arm up and back. Not going into a half moon balance. So we're front leg, slight bend in it, reach that arm forward, lower the hand down as we lift that left leg up, opening up the shoulders through the hips, flexing that foot, like we have that foot on an imaginary wall behind us. Good, now we're gonna come back up, big step back. So we're gonna turn the left toes out just a few degrees and then side lunge. Sink the hips down, let's hold it here, chest is up. Knee is pressing out, gripping with those toes, lifting through that left arch. One more breath. And then we'll circle those arms back to, or we'll circle our body back to the front into that lunge. Back leg is strong, just on those fingertips. One more breath. And then plant the hands, step it back to our plank vinyasa. And exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Left knee to that left elbow. Inhale it back up, open up that hip, bend that top knee. Now bring that knee across to that right elbow, extend that leg out, drop that heel down, right arm reaches up, side plank. Lower that hand down, sweep that leg back up to the sky. Curl that knee to the nose, step that foot through. Inhale those arms up, crescent lunge. Now twist, right hand forward, left arm reaches back. And reverse it, right arm up, left hand down. Inhale, both arms up, back to our crescent lunge. Back heel spins down, teeing out those arms into that warrior two. And we'll lower that forearm down towards that thigh, or a hand can come inside that foot as we sweep that right arm up and over. And let's reach that left arm forward, rotating that chest open. Inhale, rise back up, straighten that front leg. Reverse it so that left arm reaches up and back. That half moon balance, slight bend to that front knee. Okay, reach that hand forward, lower the left hand down as that right leg, right arm extends up. Good, core tight, press to that back heel. Maybe you start to lift that left arm up a little bit. Now we'll take that big step back, turning those right toes out just a few degrees. Sink the hips down, chest is up into that side lunge, holding it just for a few breaths. And walk those hands back to the front. Back heel spins up, those hips sink down. And then plant those hands, step it back to our plank, vinyasa. And exhale, downward facing dog. Another breath. And then inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet right behind those hands. Sink those hips down into that squat. Those hands can come to heart center. Now we'll lower those hands down. Spread those fingers out. Maybe one more chance to play around in that crow pose. So bringing those knees up high to those armpits, shifting that weight forward, gripping those fingertips into the mat, lengthening through the spine, and then start to float those feet up. And then when you're ready, you can try to hop those feet back to our plank. And then so exhaling it back into a child's pose. And then if you really want to give those shoulders a break, you can reach those arms back, reaching for the feet. Then come back onto those hands and knees. Okay, go ahead and bring those knees in a little bit, so a little bit narrower than hip distance apart. Let's curl those toes under. We want to make sure those ankles are pointing straight up, not going out to the sides at all. Okay? And then we'll start to sit back onto those heels. Now, depending on how tight those feet are, you may want to keep the hands here. Okay, maybe the hands a little bit more weight in the knees, or maybe you just stack those shoulders over the hips, no weight in the hands, big, big, big stretch through those feet, the toes, closing down those eyes, focusing on that breath. And then go ahead and lower those hands down, just gently tapping those feet, wiggling those toes, whatever you need, get that movement back into the toes. And step it back to a plank. Actually, let's stay on our knees, switching up a little bit. We're gonna go into that frog pose. So if you're on a really thick carpet or a rug, you can always stay facing the regular way on your mat. But if you're on a harder surface, I would go wide. Okay, and you can even take your edges of your mat, fold them in. So you're kneeling on them like this to give you a little bit more cushion on those knees. But otherwise, bring those knees out as wide as you can. The toes can be angling out, okay, where your heels are in line with the knees. Okay, if that's a little bit too much, you can always just angle those toes in. Send those hips back as far as you can. And then we'll lower onto those forearms. You can rest that head down. Try and keep that back just nice and straight. So not too much rounding, not too much arch. That big stretch through those inner thighs. Good, just a few more breaths. And then slowly make your way out of it. There's really no right or wrong way, or really a good way for that matter. Whew, just take your time. We'll come on to your backs. Let's go into a hip bridge. So lower those feet down, about hip distance apart, toes are tracking straight forward. Start to lift that tailbone up, rounding it up one vertebrae at a time. And roll it back down. Feel or swing those knees, windshield wipering those knees from side to side. Go into that full happy baby. So draw those knees in, grabbing onto the outside edges of the feet, tailbone grounds down, and then we'll extend through those feet. So knees are pulling down, tailbone pulls down, and then maybe we extend through those legs a little bit more. Let's bring the bottoms of those feet together. Knees will stay wide as we lower those feet down. And hands just rest on your stomach, on your chest, or maybe just down by your sides. Keeping that core a little bit engaged. Low back stays flat on the mat. And just let those knees relax down. And bring those knees together. We'll hug those knees into the chest, round through that spine, bringing the forehead to the knees. We'll extend those legs out, reach those arms overhead, that full body stretch, fingertips all the way down through your toes. And then exhaling those arms down by the sides. Palms will face up, shoulder blades will walk together. You bring those feet a little bit wider, maybe the arms come a little bit wider. Take that big breath in. And exhaling it out, just letting yourself completely relax and rest for these next few minutes. Begin to deepen your breath. Just gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And reaching your arms overhead, getting that full body stretch, fingertips down through those toes. Then hug those knees into the chest. Gently roll it on over to that left side, that right side, either side, actually. Letting that other arm come in front. Just completely relaxed on your side. And gently press yourself up into that seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Eyes remain closed. Taking a big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, one more time. Big breath in and out. All right, linking those eyes open. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have a great evening. And then we have an all levels flow 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if we can make that, but otherwise have a good one.